What's going on, everybody? It's FREEDO here for Your Overwatch, and today we're going to be breaking down a very tricky subject. So, when I title videos, The Problem, I always try to remind everybody at the start of them that I'm not trying to say that I have a problem with burst healing, but sections of the game are so difficult to balance correctly that they create a problem for the players and the developers, and the whole game is kind of a problem in that it's difficult to balance games. But luckily for us, in my opinion, no developer's better than Blizzard at this, basically. We couldn't be in better hands, but it's an impossible job to do. So, anyway, moving on. On the PTR, there's a bunch of progressions towards things that we like to see. And I know a lot of people sometimes have the standpoint that it's best to just sit back and wait and not try to analyze things, but I think with good critical thinking, we can hone in on where the game's going, because I want you guys to be ahead of the curve, not weeks behind it. When changes go live, I want you to be able to adapt on the fly, because that way of commanding the game makes us all better Overwatch players, because so many battles in the game are won based upon just how you understand the game. So, Ana's burst healing actually isn't going away, because the issue with Ana is that because she has so many large strengths, it's difficult to pinpoint what is quote-unquote the issue with her, and namely with the changes that we do have, it might be difficult to model where that's going to take her, but I'll break it down here now. Ana's ability to burst heal is not subject to the amp healing, and let me explain why. Ana has a cute little trick that I don't think anyone has described this way before, as far as I know, but I'm gonna call it a combo, because really, it is a combo. Now, it's not as difficult as like the Genji Swift Strike melee, 3 shurikens in the head. Is that a pro Genji combo? But it's a combo nonetheless, and it is when you shoot, hit a nade, and then shoot again. The reason why I break it down this way is because this is the fastest, most efficient way to get a burst of healing in the entire game, which is what makes Ana's ability to heal tanks so unique. It isn't just the raw numbers, which is what they're changing with the amp reduction. It is the speed at which that she can do it. Because before Ana was in the game, Mercy's healing was still quite powerful and was used, but it's the speed of the Ana combo that enables tanks to do what they do. Because in a normal footsie battle, when you're dueling something, before Ana was in the game, even if they had a healer, the pace of the healing was more easy to read, because you could tell if they had a Harmony Orb on them, or Mercy's staff, and Lucy only amped every 12 seconds anyway. So the interaction that you had as a player doing damage was easier to know if you should commit to a fight or not. Whereas with Ana, the aforementioned combo comes in so quick, the difference between you thinking Roadhog is on the back foot and you should push, and then him immediately having tons of health that you can't deal with, happens in a second. Well, more specifically, I think 2 seconds, which might seem kind of long for a combo, but for healing, and the numbers that I'm talking about are so significant that nothing in the game really can match it. So let me break down what that is. I apologize for this. Math will be involved. I was told no math would be involved. Just basic addition, everybody. I can handle it. I'm a grown adult. It doesn't matter that I never took a math class in college. We can get through this together if we take our time. So one shot from Ana is 75. The nade itself does 100 instantly, so already quite strong. Then the amped healing effect on live right now, of course 100% amp, doubles her shot, so that's 150. Add all those together, once you shoot nade shoot, Ana herself does 325 in healing. And that takes a little bit over 2 seconds, because 1 second shoot, then you can immediately animation cancel to throw the nade, and that next shot comes out over the course of whatever amount of time. So it's about 2 seconds, I'm going to say. But the point is, nothing else in the game can heal that way, so even though it feels like a long time, it's actually quite short. There's other factors at play. Amp healing doesn't only amp Ana's healing, it amps everything, which is a problem in its own right. And then, of course, if your nade lands as the first shot is being applied, that might get amped as well, so plus or minus 20 or 40. Okay, dirty stuff out of the way. The point of the matter is, 325 healing in a short space of time, that number is very interesting, because it compares to, let's say, Widow's scope, but hitting a headshot. Let's compare the difficulty at which that taking aim with Widow to full charge to hit a headshot compared to shoot nade shoot combo from Ana to do the same amount of damage in healing form. This is part of the issue why this is out of whack. Now, the kicker to this conversation is that this combo is not getting as reduced as you might think. 50% healing amp is definitely where it should be. I mean, I think we might even have argued on this channel that it could be less, and she'd still be fine. And this is kind of why. If under the new Ana, the Ana healing combo, I'm not going to take you through the steps of the math again, I'm sure half of you have already clicked off the video as it is. The total number for that shoot nade shoot is now 287, which is about 60 less than it used to be, which is okay. A nerf, of course, but it's less than a McCree body shot. And honestly, if you think about this, this is kind of genius on Blizzard's part, because what this means for Ana is she's still really good at the burst combo, because 60 damage is kind of insignificant. But of course, where that amp healing is going to take effect is in the subsequent shots during the amp's duration, and of course, all the other healing in the game that can get applied to it. That is what's going to get attacked. I'm not a mathematician or anything, but I know obviously because there's a 50% modifier compared to 100, the more shots that we are comparing here, the bigger that margin's going to get, which is a good thing. Now, the kicker will be, does that make multi-tank harder to play, but still viable? I think so. Because a lot of the ebb and flow of how multi-tank battles work is rind pins and roadhog hooks, and then bailing out tanks out of places with the burst. What's going to be more difficult is extending fights over long periods of time and just having Ana bail you out. So basically, multi-tank in matchmaking in a nutshell. Because right now, you kind of can just no-brain it a bit and know that, well, Ana's healing so great that we can just pick more tanks and survive and have a good chance of just winning because of that reason. That should go away. And it will also, of course, strain the ability of Ana to single heal, which at the moment, in my opinion, is one of the strongest team comp decisions you can make right now, especially in matchmaking. So my assessment of all this is, the overall production of Ana's healing clearly goes down, but that burst impact healing remains the same. Now, the reason why multi-tank was so good was because the area of effect of Ana's nade is so good that her ability to apply a quick burst of healing to something that has a health pool to take advantage of it, which is an important thing, of course. 300 healing on a Genji doesn't do anything. He just needs 200, so can't put 2 gallons in a 1-gallon jug. For some reason, I feel like making this Die Hard 3 reference. I don't know. Anyway, the experiment of how these changes will come into effect will play out by testing the ability of Ana to keep multi-tank alive on the seams. It won't come at the point of contact, so it won't be she's worse at healing Reinhardt and Roadhog in those duels to swing them in their favor, to give you that instant burst, to really mess up the footsie battle of the enemy. In those fights where they think, oh, I'm winning this fight against this character, shoot nade shoot comes in, and then it swings in the other way. Those battles will still be won. The question is, can team comps survive by having all these other tanks fill out these traditional DPS roles? Or will it finally be that because her bulk healing over the course of a match will be lower, that multi-tank team comps will start to come apart at the seams? I think we all kind of hope so. Sometimes it's difficult to sort of break down the opportunity cost of all these things and how they're going to play out throughout, but I think I'm onto this here. And maybe I should have mentioned early in the video, but the reason why I break it down in shoot, nade, shoot is because the swing factor is so important. We can't just simply think about the effect of nade, shoot, shoot. No. Because you can't have nade all the time. You only can have it at impact situations, and you want to use it to swing a duel. So Ana's normally always shooting, but the swing factor is when she goes from normal shot to now it's time to nade, shoot again. That's the combo, that's when it swaps, and that's when your team can sort of steal over favor in a battle like that. So thankfully, the thing that is changing is those numbers seconds after the nade is applied. But the scary part of Ana is that immediate burst. Because once a hero's in amp, and you see they're amped, that's not the scary part. When two teams are poking and Reinhardt puts a shield up and Ana nades them all and starts to heal them, they're all going to get full regardless, for the most part, even with the 50% instead of 100. The impact to the game and how it's played are in the edges of duels and bigger team fights. Theoretically, healing in the entire game is going to go down slightly, because the other things that heal won't get as big of an effect from amp healing, as well as Ana. And the question is for multi-tank, at what point does the resources it takes to poke and split and break apart multi-tank become easier than just playing multi-tank to mirror it? Because as we said in this channel, we understand how to counter multi-tank. It's just harder oftentimes than just actually playing multi-tank yourself. The breaking point will be as the community figures out that what in effect is kind of a cheesy strategy isn't reliable enough or worth the risk of having someone outplay you with something that's more skill-based. Good multi-tank pro teams, I think, will still be good, but it'll weed out the every team is a multi-tank pro team. Now, if the nade nerf doesn't accomplish that, I say to even try to drop it again to 25% maybe. And the fortunate state of the matter is that actions towards this will drop her pick rate. I understand that. Ana's in a really tricky situation, and I hate to tell you guys this, it's going to be difficult to get her to simply compete with Zenyatta in a fair and even way. Unfortunately, that's not the way games work. I think we're on a razor thin's edge likelihood that Ana's going to be tuned in such a way that she isn't very accessible to most players again. Whereas now it seems the community is really confident in everyone's ability to just plug Ana in a multi-tank, even though, to be honest, it's still difficult to play Ana in multi-tank, but as that crutch is going away, the skill requirement to get the same production out of Ana that you used to is just going to go up, because her numbers are overall down over the course of the match, which may be a good thing, and something that I think we have to be comfortable with in the balancing of Overwatch. The truth of the matter is not everything can be perfectly pickable at all times. Certain heroes that have great power and great potential, but are difficult to play, by necessity have to sort of get pushed to the side. It may be the case that in the next meta after this patch comes in, that the norm is to question an Ana pick, because she's going to be more difficult to play. I mean, to be honest, right now, I still kind of question it oftentimes in matchmaking, because despite her power, it only comes out with the proper ability put in, even now, as good as she is, which is also the reason why a lot of players through the community simply think Ana doesn't need the nerf, which I'll be honest, it completely makes sense to me, because if you're in an area of matchmaking where players are picking just a lot of weird, wonky comps, and not the mainstay characters that synergize with your Ana necessarily, she can feel really hard to play, because she is. But I think this is the right direction for Blizzard to go down. I'm happy to see the game move forward in this way. Guys, let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section below. Ana's burst alive and well even after getting the nerf hammer. But the game should play a bit better afterwards. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button. It really does help us out. Subscribe to our channel. We upload each and every day. And be sure to hit the bell icon and make sure to get notified when our videos go live as well. Check out our Twitch page. And be sure to set up email notifications on there so you can see when our streams go live. Follow us on Twitter at YourOverwatchYT for stream announcements, updates, cool clips, and fun ramblings from me. Listen to me rant about the game in 140 characters a pop. Check out our Discord server, linked in the description. Word on the street is we're the biggest Overwatch Discord community. I say we, but really it's you. It's where the party's at. Come on in. Welcome to my house. That's been it for me. I've been FREEDO for Your Overwatch. See you guys next time.